vehicle that's been on Pikes Peak, has 2 turbos, and rips.
So he has actual aero. We have Photoshop aero.
All right, welcome to Hoonicorn versus the world. What are we doing today, Ken?
Apparently drag racing.
There's a lot of confidence there.
The whole concept of this is based around Forza. When the Hoonicorn made its way into Forza, it was one of the fastest vehicles. So we noticed that a lot of the players were actually taking the Hoonicorn and drag racing it against other vehicles. And that's the right thing about Forza. You could put this thing versus a supercar, you know, a truck, or a little 3-wheeled thing that looks like an egg.
It's not a drag race car, but it's all-wheel drive. 1,400 horsepower, super sticky tires, and a sequential gearbox.
What are you trying to say?
It's a drag race car.
There's a lot of drag racers who will argue on that, but I get where you're coming from. All right, so less talking, let's start racing.
So as you know, we have a vehicle that's been on Pikes Peak. Runs Toyo Tires, has 2 turbos, and rips. And we're not talking about the Hoonicorn. You've seen him on Daily Transmission. You've seen him on Build Bio. You've seen him a lot in our content. We're gonna show you his truck right now, and then, unfortunately, he's gonna get mopped up.
We're just over here talking cool old stuff.
Just
Cool old stuff that's actually new stuff.
Give us a taste.
The whole wolf in sheep's clothing thing.
That is not a wolf.
No, it's
in
just a
sheep's
sleeper.
clothing. That is just a wolf, literally.
Oh, and this is a sleeper.
What? It's totally a sleeper.
You see the wing on that bad boy? That means fast.
Yeah.
It's a functional wing, and it's got functional downforce generating under tray.
So he has actual aero. We have Photoshop aero.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Where do you think you stand against this bad boy?
I think I am going to eat so much Gapple sauce today. I brought my truck in Pikes Peak trim. I'm making 1,000 horsepower instead of 1,400, and this thing weighs 4,600 pounds with me in it.
Can we give Scotty a round of applause for getting the record?
Yeah, Pikes Peak record. A few high fives here. For a diesel-powered vehicle, it's the fastest vehicle ever at Pikes Peak.
Wow.
What's the trick to making this the fastest vehicle at Pikes Peak?
A lot of different things. Suspension, brakes, downforce. The biggest thing is tires. I run a 325 710 18 Toyo prototype slick. Sticky as glue, and they're specifically made for Pikes Peak. Today, I'm running the R888s. I'm running a 315 front and a 335 rear. The engine is a 6.7 liter Cummins, built by Freedom Racing Engines. Billet rods, coated pistons, ARP hardware top and bottom. I mean, it's built for full angry. G42 1450 turbo here, and then a GTW 3884.
Can you help us understand compound turbos?
You've got your manifold turbo, which runs just like a traditional turbo. Instead of wasting the exhaust energy, it feeds another turbo, which is bigger than it. The atmosphere turbo returns the favor. They compound their boost. Let's say this one makes 60 pounds and this one makes 40 pounds. You see 100 pounds at the plenum.
I've been trying to get Dan to explain this to me for months.
Right?
Science rules.
You got the Fass lift pump that pumps tons of fuel forward. The gearbox is an ATS built 47 RE automatic diesel trucks transmission modified to shift sequentially. It acts like a sequential that has a fluid takeoff. What? Just like out of a late 90s Dodge truck.
I don't understand, but okay. I like the Hoonigan handbrake though, I get that.
That's one of your spares from your Gymkhana 10.
Nice.
This thing holds the diesel land speed record in the half mile.
What is that?
167 and some change.
Okay.
You got to talk some shit. This is racing.
Go unhook your front drive line. Let's do this.
That's the wrong kind of shit.
Let's do this.
Give me 3 cars and a drive shaft.
Unhook, no, just unhook the drive shaft and we're gravy.
Yeah, right?
Anything you want to know about that thing?
What's the weight?
Roughly 3,000 with me in it.
So it's only 1,600 pounds less than my truck.
Hey, you want a 300-pound ballast in this bad boy?
There's our handicap. Unhook your front drive line and make Kurt ride with you. That looks like a sleeper to me. I mean, what's the engine based on?
Is it a 410 Ford built by Roush Yates?
So you got the twin Garrett Whirly boys on here.
Both of those combined might equal one of yours.
What are these, 67 millimeters?
Not bad.
Those are good for 800-900 horse apiece. What are you making for power?
1,400.
Good Lord.
It does things to tires that like none of my other cars have ever
Those
done.
poor Toyos.
It spins the tires up so fast that instead of being like tight on something, all of a sudden I'm way over here because the wheel speed just comes up so fast.
That's my problem. Instead of floating out like an all-wheel drive, my truck just wants to trade ends.
It's not about who's faster anymore. It's about who would crash better.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do really like your new wheels.
The rotiform wheel on the Toyo R888R. It's a good looking setup, and it's hard to find a wheel and tire setup that looks good on this car, but I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Access denied. Access denied.
He just says yes.
I still haven't heard an answer for the button on the shifter. Yes?
Handbrake, it's the button on the handbrake. Basically, when you're going to launch a rallycross car, we have a launch control which just controls the RPM that we want to launch at, and it's building boost. What the button is doing, because when you pull the handbrake, it disengages the center diff, which opens up the front diff. So when you launch, you're basically letting out the clutch and letting go of the handbrake. So it takes a few milliseconds for the center diff to engage and then drive the front wheels. Well, that button is keeping the center diff locked, so you're in all-wheel drive. And then as soon as you let go, bah, the whole system is launching you forward.
Racing, 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 racing.
No, we just want to talk cars more.
No. We want to see a race.
You want to run 1,000, 1,500? What do you want to run?
Yeah,
this
1,500. Give me some time to catch up.
Yeah.
All right, race one, heads up, 1,500 feet.
Hand drop.
Racing.
Racing, 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 racing.
I mean, it's going to be Hoonicorn. It's still going to be a good race.
Here's the second race, right?
What's the second race?
3 cars in the drive shaft. Have you guys not been watching that one?
Mop it up, baby.
You know my opinion. Don't bet against the Hoonicorn.
Yeah, Hoonicorn.
Thousands of tears later.
We need a roll. We need a roll.
I think Chuckles gets to hit automatically.
I think he should get a length or 2, because he's not moving out.
No, I think
It's taking him like
60
literally the
feet
60
to
feet
get
to get moving.
Yeah.
Flawless victory.
So we just had a discussion with Chuckles. He doesn't care to ask for cars or anything like that, so we are deciding for him. So we're gonna give him 2 cars and the hit, so that gives his converter time to lock up and give him power.
Round 2.
Need Hurt for the lesson.
Hurt, how'd that one go?
Ma.
Ken saying you from a 40 roll, Ken from a dig.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna need more than that, like a 60 roll.
60 roll?
Yeah, to let me get into second gear.
I think Ken's got a roll too.
So let's try a 60 roll both sides. We'll go to 1,000 now.
All right, so we're going 60-mile-an-hour roll race to 1,000 feet. Chuckles is hitting off second cone, and they're going to the second flag because they're going to be mopping.
Bonus round.
Wow! This thing's fast!
That's alright. Yeah, that was super fun. That car is so fast.
Yeah, this thing's so fast.
I want to see this on your full trim, because that might be a different race on your full trim.
Put the big turbos on.
Yeah, he's literally missing 600 foot-pounds of torque.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a good race.
But what I love about this too is like both these things basically look like Hot Wheels.
Both of them shouldn't exist in the real world, but they do.
You're never going to see another roll race between 2 cars like this.
No. Ken, that thing is so fast.
Yeah.
That thing is stupid.
This is fast.
Yeah.
All right, like that is a freak of nature.
This is fast when it's moving.
This car was built off of parts of the Hoonicorn. That car's gonna come back in pieces. On the last run, it's just gonna look like Shark Shark. I think his fender just came off. I think his fender came off.